A couple of days ago, I had the idea to reintroduce something I've done in Venezuela, but with a twist. Basically, what I did is Venezuela was exporting a house. You'll see a movie about this house, how it goes together. And to do it again is entirely possible without the cost of the machinery, which is like $100,000 basically. And something new came up between 1995 when I built this project of 17 houses in Venezuela, manufactured in Louisiana. Something new happened about 5 or 6 years later. Started off in Canada with new kind of adhesive, which allows the following very interesting possibility. I think I hinted a word or two about that to you. Oh, by the way, I read your email this morning, and I totally understand the lady's concern about having something that's traditional within the Spanish idiom, and I understand that very well. Listen, and this is what I have in mind for you guys. Now, what was done in Venezuela, it can be redone with thicker panels of a less costly insulation value. You need to understand that when you ship from abroad, Canada or Louisiana to South America, content is pretty important. Now, like the bigger house in there, the 100-meter square house, represents in shipping volume on a high cube container, 1.5 houses per container, which seems all right, but if you did it with what I'm proposing to you, it would take 2.5 containers. But since we're building locally with local materials and insulation made in Mexico, made in Tijuana, as a matter of fact, that volume is no concern. And actually, a thicker wall is kind of interesting for all kinds of reasons. Now, this is a very special kind of a house, and you will see that very soon. It's not only is it done in the traditional Hispanic idiom, but it's also done in the Mayan idiom. Basically, the walls are leading inside like this slightly, and this gives a very, very sturdy look, somewhat a bit like the adobe houses of Taos, New Mexico. You'll see. Unfortunately, I met my sister-in-law. As you know, there was a mishap with the brother-in-law's health, and that kind of took something out of us in the last few days. I didn't sleep for for 2 days. Anyway, I put this movie together, and I inserted at the end two things: the differences, and also a technology which I'd like to try with this new system. But that's not something you need to go with. It might be risky, and if I don't have the cash to do a separate tryout and testing, forget it. Basically, it's a panel that's finished with ceramic on the inside. This one, I'm not at all sure it can be done. Now, let's go back to the big changes. We're talking sandwich panel, or SIPs, structurally insulated panels. What I'm describing here is the same thing, but they're not made by an injection of a polymer mixture that reacts, grows, and hardens, but it's made with something you buy at a factory. Polystyrene. Polystyrene is half as good as polyurethane, so you need to use twice as much. So instead of having a 3.5-inch panel, we're going to get a 6-inch panel. Actually, the panels used in Venezuela were 3-inch, not 3.5-inch. So that's it. In other words, what you're going to see in the movie, you look at it as is. That every panel you see, roof and wall, is going to be twice as thick. And they're going to be made locally, and I explained to you how they're going to be made. It's a shelter you're going to build. And underneath that shelter, you have the raw material, basically OSB, a pile of OSB boards, and a pile of styrofoam panel, which you got to protect from the wind because they're lightweight and they can be blown away, so blah, blah. Anyway, the idea is that you make these sandwiches using a very, very powerful acrylic glue that's been proven all across Canada. It's accepted in a lot of the United States too. Mexico, not sure. I have some help. I'll get it. I need to talk with the people who apply the codes locally. That won't be a problem. I'll give them all the references they need to. And if we need to, I have access to a local architect. So it's not a problem. So anyways, keep an open mind on it. If you don't like what you're seeing, hey, it's no problem, man. But I think you'll have fun watching this, and when I get back to Mexico, which is probably going to be Thursday, I'll get in touch with you, because at our house in Mexico, I have some drawings, color drawings and plans of all this, plumbing, details, and different floor plans. So basically, we can either customize one of those. What's really exciting, the form, the Mayan form I was describing to you. The other thing is free form. It's not one of those rectangular piece of bullshit. Oh, by the way, at the end of that movie, you will see one house with the stucco finish on it, but not painted yet, just a rough coat. That'll give you a rough idea of how it's going to look. Unfortunately, I have no recent picture of that project, and I can't find anybody who will take a picture for me in Venezuela, for the simple reason that I actually forgot what the address is. But I haven't quit on this. There's one fellow which I'm trying to reach, which might be reachable. I only know his first name, but I know other details about his family, so I might be able to. This is 1995, and I didn't take notes or anything. And I'm actually trying to locate the site by looking at the mountains in the videos and going to Google Earth to try to locate the place by the shape of the mountains. I know it's not in Porlamar. I know it's somewhere in something, but I haven't found it yet. So, so anyways. Oh, by the way, you can skip forward very fast watching this if you get bored, whatever. Skip forward using your arrow keys on your keyboard. And if you want to stop it, click anywhere in the video, it'll stop. Click again anywhere in the video, it'll start again. So don't feel obliged to see the entire 20 minutes of it. It's not worth it. I mean, just look what's interesting for you. And please report to me, because depending on your reaction, I'll start to prepare material before Thursday.
Mais aussi avec la possibilité de placer des climatiseurs dessus. My most popular house is the Santa Clara model. It's a huge house. It's got 1,400 square feet and only costs $22,000. Our production cost is in the neighborhood of $15,000. At 130 meters square, 2 stories, this house can be manufactured in 6.5 days, is erected in 2 days, and the finishing time required is about 5 days, including the outside stucco finish. We can fit 1.4 such house in a high cube container, meaning that in 2 high cube containers we have a large one and a couple of small ones. Notice the plan is quite similar to the Santana you've seen previously, but some huge bedrooms, and plus a bedroom on top with its adjoining terrace. Those are very nice for the site, since at that site you can see the sea from the second floor level, but you cannot see the sea at the ground level. And tourists like to be able to have a good glimpse at the sea and also catch the breeze on the second floor. Voici les vues de côté, les vues arrière du modèle Santa Clara. Remarquez les murs inclinés qui suggèrent une maçonnerie très solide, très épaisse. Alors qu'en réalité, nos murs n'ont que 3 pouces d'épaisseur. Mais nous utilisons le polyuréthane comme isolant, ce qui fait que l'ensemble des murs et toits forme une coquille extrêmement résistante. En fait, les petits climatiseurs muraux comme ceci, avec 3 unités seulement, on peut garder cette maison fraîche toute l'année sans aucun problème, avec une consommation vraiment minime. Remarquons aussi que j'ai parlé tantôt de 22 000 $. La maison entière finie au promoteur coûte environ de 20 à 22 000 $ finis. Ceci comprend la dalle de béton coulée sur place. Nous avons d'autres variations aussi, comme ce modèle-ci et celui-ci, qui sont des modèles à 1 étage avec une projection sur le toit avec un escalier pour se servir du patio sans nécessairement y vivre. Tous nos modèles sont construits autour d'une salle de bain très technique qui comporte un panneau électrique, la plomberie complète d'alimentation avec les plomberies d'évacuation, même les prises de comptoir comme vous voyez ici pour la cuisine. Nous dessinons, fabriquons en gabarit tous les arbres de plomberie, de sorte que dans une semaine, on peut facilement, avec 2 ouvriers, faire 2 blocs comme celui-ci. La maison entière est basée sur la salle de bain, comme les premières scènes de ce film vous l'ont montré. The entire house is built around a mechanical core that's highly technical, contains all the electrical entrance panels, plus plumbing and either feed lines as well as drain lines, plus all the receptacles and switches, this being the heart structurally too, since it holds the ceiling beams. All our houses are based on 1, 2, or 3 such bathroom or wet modules. In the luxury houses, some of these bathrooms contains jacuzzis and quite fancy supplies and equipment. In our case, most of these shower stalls are built out of fiber cement boards like Wonderboard, because they are finished quite cheaply with local ceramic that we can get from Brazil or Venezuela for quite a good price. As we said, the entire housing system revolves around the toilet. J'espère donc que ceci vous aura convaincu que la partie essentielle et centrale d'une maison est bel et bien la toilette. Welcome to Margarita. Bienvenue à Margarita. Nous sommes maintenant sur le terrain. Les 3 dalles pour les 3 premières maisons sont presque terminées. The 3 first slabs are almost finished. We're on the grounds in Margarita. A wonderful land surrounded by a horseshoe of mountains. And right now the crew is finishing the last of the 3 slabs. They have a mixer, local sand, local concrete, and a crew of 5 or 6 men very quickly, in 2 days, complete the entire foundation. Avec 3 hommes seulement, en quelques jours, toute la dalle est créée. C'est la dernière de nos 3 dalles. Et c'est vraiment un processus très simple. C'est-à-dire que tout ce qu'on fait, c'est de créer un renfort qui sont en train de couler maintenant, dans lequel il y a des barres d'armature. Et après, demain, ils vont placer la maille métallique et couler 6 pouces. Je veux dire 4 pouces ou 10 cm. Right now, they're casting the ribs to reinforce the slab. Tomorrow morning, they will put steel mesh, and then they will cast another 4 inches of concrete to establish the floor. Now, right in the middle, of that slab, here, the hole in there is for us to install the bathrooms. Les salles de bain, les modules que vous avez vus tout à l'heure sont descendus et posés là-dessus. Now, si vous faites une panoramique, vous voyez la première des dalles. We will sweep around this way and show you the first slab that we cast. Vous voyez les ouvriers qui nous regardent, these are local workers looking at us. Et right in the center, au centre, on voit le trou qui est prêt à recevoir le module. On voit aussi les poutres. We see the roof beams this way. Roof beams, which are going to be used to support the roof panels. The containers have not arrived yet. We expect them a little bit later today. Thank you. Once the truck are on the building sites, we proceed to unload the panels. Of course, the concrete slabs have already been prepared. All that needs to be done actually is to put a wood perimeter around them. That wood perimeter is treated wood with a high capacity to resist for a lifetime. It's inserted in the concrete nails, in some cases with anchor bolts. Quand les camions sont déchargés au site, nous distribuons tous les panneaux autour du terrain, après avoir au préalable disposé une pièce de bois traité en périmètre sur la maison. Ce bois traité est garanti à vie, bien sûr, et puis les clous qui le tiennent dans le béton le sont aussi. On procède ensuite à distribuer les panneaux autour du terrain, and once all the panels are laid out properly, the
different kinds of setbacks that we need to this, for instance, this setback here. Thank you. This setback here is for a recessed window, and these people in the back are actually sorting out the panels from the different piles. And here we have a house that's in progress. Again, as I said, the panel numbering system makes it quite simple to sort out everything. As you can see, we have panels, roof panels separated from wall panels right here, so that we can go on with the music very fast. This has only started yesterday. We've got this much done. Nous avons commencé hier seulement. Nous avons tout ceci construit. Actuellement, on procède là-bas à mettre en place les poutres de toiture sur des chaises. We have some chairs to hold up the roof beams on the central bathroom. La salle de bain du centre sera recouverte de placo-plâtre plus tard. The central bathroom will be covered with gypsum board later. The chief of our crew hires low-skilled people mostly, and all this is done very effectively.
vente.
Ahí voy, ya. Cuidado, cuidado ahí, muchacho. Mete la mano allá, papachongo.
Porte, que se le rompa el metro. Fin. Vamos,
Empuja ahí.
empuja. Aguanta. Muy bonito.
Contrario, a ver.
No.
Aquí, aquí.
Véngase. ¿Cómo le da? De esta manera usted ya no vale mucho. Provisional, puedo ver. No. Busco un cuarto, yo digo que den cuarto porque un peligro este caje y una liga de eso. ¿Quién solo?
Sí, la muchacha,
Nadie tiene un solo clavito. Claro.
Ah, no.
Dale. Ahí. Sí, fino.
Aquí está bien.
Bien, aquí. Hay que, ella punta y echada para allá.
Tranquiliño.
¿Verdad? ¿Y aquí?
Aquí. Dale 2 cañas más acá. No, no me jodieron.
Okay, as you can see, the houses go up quite easily. The panels are extremely light. Not extremely, they're light, and they assemble quite easily with the readily available method, mostly nails and screws. The general lines of the house, if you come this way, you can see that the stapler I was referring to suggests strength and thickness of walls, suggests power. Actually, the walls are quite thin, as you can see. There are a few right here, as a matter of fact. The whole purpose is to have readily available work crews handle the construction, and yet be able to suggest a character that's solid and stately. The walls are only 3 1/4 inch thick, but yet their insulation value is 2.5 times that of a regular Frigidaire or home refrigerator. The roof panel, which get the brunt of the sun beating, are 4 1/4 inch thick, and that's 4.5 times the thickness of a fridge, which is 1 inch thick, as most of you know. Une petite remarque, nous avons des murs qui sont très minces, comme vous avez vu, mais ils suggèrent quand même une atmosphère, enfin une esthétique pratiquement mexicaine ou mayenne, avec plans inclinés, pyramidaux, suggérant une masse épaisse de murs. Vous allez voir plus tard quand la maçonnerie est posée. Le but quand même, c'est de créer une architecture qui ne fasse pas préfabriquer, mais qui cependant peut être assemblée par des gens très peu compétents, principalement au marteau avec des clous spéciaux. Si vous venez par ici, je vais vous montrer le genre de fixation qu'on emploie. This way I will show you what kind of fasteners we use. Okay. First of all, we have a treated wood sill that's connected with large galvanized nails, and these sills are done with treated wood. We use American-made windows, high quality, with insulated glass, and molded in colonial squares, or colonial lights as they're called. And as you can see, the roof assembly, which we call vigas here. The ceiling beams are made of local wood, which is quite nice, actually. Les poutres du plafond sont en sampan, qui est un bois local. On voit que l'assemblage des panneaux de toit est très facile à faire. C'est principalement fait avec des très grands clous. Nous allons voir ces fixations. Ok, évidemment, dans les pays en voie de développement ou dans les régions éloignées, il est important d'avoir des outils qui sont faciles à manipuler. Ce sont des clous principalement. We use nails because it's easy to find people who can handle a hammer. So basically, we use a certain type of nail to glue to attach the wood, the treated wood, to concrete. Then we use this other kind of nail here with great retentive power to attach panels to the roof beams. And of course, we use these to attach the roof beams together, as you can see up there. Those are twisted shank nails. They're very easy to use in every situation. Ces clous tordus pour attacher les poutres ensemble. Nous employons ensuite ces clous de 6 pouces qui ont une excellente rétention dans les poutres de bois locales. Alors notre panneau de toit est très très bien maintenu et ça fait un toit parfaitement plat. Lors de la construction, during construction time, on se sert généralement du cube au centre de la maison, non seulement comme un noyau de distribution pour l'électricité, mais aussi un endroit pour mettre nos outils, car la première maison sur un grand projet est généralement le bureau de chantier. On a large project, we usually use the first house as a field construction shack. So we use the central bathroom as a electrical distribution unit, put the tools and everything. While we're here, let's just have a quick look at the way this stuff goes together. As you can see, it's a very simple affair. We offer a choice of sheetrock ceilings or finished wood. When we do the finished wood ceiling, the wood boards are already in. This is done at the plant at press level. This is a cheaper ceiling, and the wood is a local wood, as you can see, but it can be American wood too. The windows are kind of interesting in the sense that double glazed windows are not used much in this part of the world. No. Okay folks, this is Christmas Eve, and John just completed some modification to the press to make the clamping easier. First of all, he mounted the switch on the post right next to the press, where you can actuate the up and down motion, and when it reaches the proper level, instead of having 2 operators, a single operator can do everything with 1 hand. That's it. This actuates the clamps, as you can see. This locks the press and guarantees that we have full control over its motion. The other thing that John just designed for our press is a mechanism by which you can carry the foam system from north to south, left and west fairly easy. It's basically a simple rotating arm, which allows him to go in any direction around the press and be able to foam from all possible angles. Now, these refinements were done right after we finished building the first tree house for Margarita. Ce sont des petits raffinements que nous avons fait à la veille de Noël pour se faire un cadeau de Noël. Ça permet de travailler beaucoup plus rapidement et un seul opérateur peut manipuler une presse à 3 niveaux. Nous avons aussi modifié la presse pour créer 3 niveaux de pression. Nous avons aussi un petit raffinement nouveau qui permet de faire des panneaux finis céramiques à un très bon compte. Ce panneau-ci a été fait il y a 2 ans. C'est un panneau qui est fabriqué de colonnes céramiques. Celui-ci a été testé en laboratoire depuis 1 an et demi environ. These ceramic squares are molded into the foam panel for an extremely low cost, as low as $1.50 a square foot. This is a square foot here. We can have a panel that is highly insulated, can be finished with different material on the outside, but on the inside, what we do is that inside the mold, we place all these tiles flush to each other, no grout in between. We have developed a technique that allows us, with some steel wire reinforcement, to have a panel extremely strong. This panel can resist all kinds of charges of loads, vertical, horizontal, axial, and also we can do the inside of insulated bathtubs, jacuzzis, hot tubs, even entire bathrooms this way, or outside wall that need a special finish on the inside. This is a very, very promising technology that we want to introduce to Louisiana. Cette technique est tout à fait nouvelle. Pour nous, elle n'est pas tellement nouvelle, ça fait 2 ans qu'on en fait. Ces panneaux-là peuvent servir toutes sortes d'applications, jacuzzi, hot tub, et ainsi de suite. Et des murs extérieurs qui ont une finition céramique.
Nous payons ces carreaux 39 à 52 cents chaque. C'est une céramique monocuisson très très dure. Et nous avons des distances phénoménales. Ce qui veut dire qu'un panneau comme celui-ci, à longueur de 8 pieds, si on met une charge dessous, ça ne craque pas, les tuiles ne décollent pas. Dans les tests que nous avons faits avec des échantillons sur ce panneau, nous avons un résultat absolument phénoménal. Un panneau qui coûte environ 1,50 $ à 3 $ le pied carré peut résister un temps indéfini. Nous avons l'intention de construire aux Antilles des maisons entières, c'est fini à l'extérieur. Le joint qui est ici ne comporte aucun mortier qui peut désagréger, aucun colle, aucun époxy, aucun lien. Et ça permet de faire le panneau qui un vieillissement qui peut durer facilement de 1000 à 2000 ans. Un peu comme les tuiles qu'on a découvertes à Pompéi, qui ont 3000 ans d'existence. On a plusieurs développements en cours de route actuellement, mais je fais grâce ici, parce que je dois partir demain pour les îles. Et je vais vous envoyer la suite dans un tape très bientôt. Joyeux Noël dans 2 heures d'ici. Merry Christmas in 2 hours from now. See you in Margarita. Thank you.